Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing we're trying to do today is we're playing Unsealing. This was by Sinche. So every Tuesday I'm doing a live stream where we're doing, it's called Tuesday Brewsday, and people are able to submit decks. I kind of go through, edit them if I think that if they need any editing. And this deck was one that was super spicy. I changed up just a couple things, but Sarkhan's Unsealing, whenever you cast a creature with power 4, 5, or 6, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. Whenever you cast a creature with power 7 or greater, it deals 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So this is a super fun deck, and the cool thing is that we have lots of things that still are powerful with Sarkhan's Unsealing that have lots of downsides, like big creatures with downsides. Yargle, 9/3, it's a legendary, not really a downside, but it gets to swipe their entire board and does 4 damage to them. Rotting Registrar, 3 mana, 7 powered thing right now with Sarkhan's Unsealing, which is just insane. Infernal Hellion. So there's a couple things I might change with the way that I would build this, but I wanted to kind of keep it true to how Sinche built it, which I think is super fun and super interesting. Spawn of Mayhem also comes in as a 4 power thing. It's to do 4 damage to something as well. 3 mana oftentimes too for being able to swing in with all of our smaller creatures. Eternal Taskmaster help us get stuff back from our graveyard to our hand, which we do have to cast our stuff to make it happen. And so this is pretty sweet. It's just any creature card back for 3 mana back to our hand, so then we can cast our Rotting Registrar again. Well, Rotting Registrar works really well with Bag of Holding. This is like the one major inclusion that I made. It's just that it's such a great combo piece with Rotting Registrar. If you have it there, you get to throw stuff into the graveyard, bring it back whenever you need it, and a great way to play there. And otherwise, just a couple of creatures in the early game to kind of make sure that we still have an aggro type of feel with this deck, so that our damage is really supposed to be going face, because we can do 4 damage. Like if we're up against another aggro matchup, we can just play a Rotting Registrar with the Sarkhan's Unsealing, wipe their entire board, and still have a great board to be swinging in with. So that's kind of the goal of this deck, is stay pretty aggressive, keep going, kind of going in, and then try to close out the game as best we can. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, see how it goes, and wish me luck. All right, up against NLW 69, bring it on. And Theater Force, I mean, Rotting Registrar turn 3 is never a bad thing to play. These guys kind of help out with that combo as well. So let's go ahead, play the Swamp, pass the turn. Maybe Mountain would have been better. The only thing I would probably change out a little bit with this deck is maybe just adding in some more removal. Like, there's a few of the smaller creatures that are like, it's good, but if you can get out the removal there instead, it might just be better. So here's the question. Do we actually go for Sarkhan's Unsealing next turn instead? We can get Theater of Horrors here and just have a little bit more value. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to go all in. Because we were able to play this a little bit slower, we're up against red. I'm thinking that we should have a pretty sweet setup here, even against a Krenko. As long as Krenko doesn't get too big before things happen. All right, Sarkhan's Unsealing. So how much power can they give this Krenko on this turn? That's the scary part. But at the same time, we're just going to come up with a Hellion and something and make you cry. All right, so Infernal Hellion. 4 damage to everything. We'll play the Bloodfell Caves. Pass the turn. So yeah, Theater of Horrors, great with this combo as well. So we got like the perfect setup here. And opponent just scoops it up. I mean, what do you do about that? We're going to swing in with a 7/7. We're going to play another 1 or 2. In fact, we had the, we could have played 2 next turn to swing in. That's fun. It's awesome. All right, bring it on, Ref Q. Bring it on, bring it on. All right, Kai's Ghost Form, Vampire Wanted Scoundrels. See, this is the issue, is like, I'm not a huge fan of Wanting Scoundrels. I mean, they're one of those cards that the downside of playing them against a deck that's going to be killing it, so bad. But if we're up against a deck that doesn't, pretty awesome, because I mean, 4 power is pretty sweet. All right, so this is a Flyers deck. Another Fairy Miscreant. Do they have another one, too? That's such a stacked hand if they have a 3rd one. Oh, okay, I was like, what? All right, so we really need to get to our stuff and quick, because this is badness. All right, Dragon School Summit, and let's go swinging in. And Wanted Scoundrels. Pass the turn. The issue here is if they have like the ability to untap and block our wanted scoundrels would be pretty devastating. Another, oh my goodness, wow. So good. I haven't really played with Fairy Miscreant because I never expected to be able to draw like that with it. Serious? Are you serious? I mean, I guess Fairy Miscreant is the way that you play Safara, right? That's a good way to go about it. Alright, swing in with the Vampire. I could have, like, cast Ghost Form on it or something, but... That's our only hope, is if we could have gotten that, which, yeah, we're just dead on that one. Like... That was sweet, though. Fairy Miscreant. I didn't play Fairy Miscreants in my Safari deck, and that might be what's needed. Alright, up against Monk. Bring it on. Or is it Munk? Because Monk is with an O, right? So, Munk. Bring it on, Munk. Alright, so this looks like a pretty sweet hand. We have the Sarkhan's Unsealing, we have the Rotting Registrar, and this is the thing too, is like, we can either play really aggressive, get 11 power on the battlefield in 3 turns, or we can hold back and use Sarkhan's Unsealing to kind of get there. So we might just want to play Anger's Wrath on anything that we can, slow down their board as much as we can, get to that Sarkhan's Unsealing, and then go off from there. Sometimes that's just the better way to go. It really depends on what they're playing here. If it's mono green, we might just put power on the battlefield. We actually are probably more powerful than even that. Leafkin Druid, okay. Well, oh my goodness. Well, that's a lot of ramp. We might just need to kill something so they don't have too much ramp here. Or if they end up playing like a Nissa, I'd rather have this Ingress Wrath. So I guess we play Wanted Scoundrels, pass the turn. And have a blocker at least. Yay. Oh my goodness. Cavalier Thorns. Uh-huh. Alright, uh-huh. Alright, how many turns till we're dead? So this is an Elementals deck. Spark Devils? Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's just play Rotting... Man, we really need that Rotting Registrar with the Sarkhan's Unsealing. Alright, Wanted Scoundrels numbered dose. No attacks, pass the turn. We at least have a blocker here for Cavalier. If they want, they can get treasures, of course, which is bad. But... Man, I don't know what we do here. So whenever it dies... Put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. So they have another Cavalier or Spark Double, which is great with Multani. Let's just take our beats for this turn. Land. There we go. Sarkhan's Unsealing. Let's do it. No attacks. Pass the turn. We'll kill Multani if we can here. Multani gets 4 treasures, though. We can Rotting Registrar, have a good blocker here, though. Woo! Alright, Quasi-Duplicate. That's not good. It's definitely not Gouda. That's for dang sure. Well, now we cannot kill Multani. So I guess we kill here. Take 10. And die to Rotting Registrar on the next turn. Ooh, man, Multani with this is so good. If we were able to hit our lands, we could like Rotting... So if we hit a land, we can Rotting Registrar and then Ingress Rampage. Oh, but they have another token here. We are able to block and not be dead with the 2 Wanted Scoundrels as well. But, like, barely not dead. If they find any more lands, which they're playing another Cavalier. Gosh. Alright, well, do what we can. Pirate's Pillage could have maybe done some stuff for us. All right, Ingress Rampage. Yeah, so make them sack a creature. They sack this one. They get to keep the massive Multani. And no attacks, otherwise we have a very likely chance of being dead next turn. They have... Okay. Yup. All of the badness. Well, we kill it. Down to 3. And we actually might be able to stabilize here. That's the crazy thing. They get more treasures. They have more stuff. Oh, and they can just bring back Multani. So good. Bring it back to hand. Quasi-duplicate on the next turn. We can get out another Sarkhan's Unsealing and maybe like a Wanted Scoundrels to at least kill the Cavalier. But like... Yay. Oh, man. I haven't seen this deck. This is actually really cool. Cavalier Thorns just based around Multani. And you can actually sack this to go get Multani as well. Alright, so we're going to... Pirate's Pillage. Discarding another Unsealing. The main reason for this is just to try to find some other answers. Well, lands aren't the bestest. Well, 4 damage to their face, at least. If we had drawn, like, a couple more of the 4/4, the 4 2-mana creatures there. Of course, we discard this at the beginning of our upkeep anyway. Hydra Krasis. Alright. Good play. Man. Think that does it. Have discard Swamp. Kai's goes for him. And we're dead. Oh, goodness. All right, up against Undercover Raccoon, which is, I'm thinking like Perry the Platypus. What would you call an Undercover Raccoon? Cast down Rampage, Wanted Scoundrels. We'll keep this. Because we have Yargle. I mean, wouldn't you? Clearly, it's the best choice. Wanted Scoundrels, every time I see this in my hand, I'm like, really? I like it, but really? Against a control matchup, if they don't have removal, that's a 5-turn clock for 2 mana. Ain't too shabby. And Danto Vanguard. Alright, so what we do is we can actually make them sacrifice this. Swing in. And I guess we can see if they even recognize how this works. So we can actually maybe cast down as well. So cast down will do 4 more points of damage, and we can hold up their English Rampage for the other turn because it sacrifices it, not anything else. And so this could just... So let's just pass the turn. Pass the turn. I'm hoping they don't have any counters, but we can cast down Indento Vanguard and hopefully get them to pay a little bit more life. Starfield Mystic. Okay. They have... So cast down, bring them down to 8. Gonna swing in for 3, it looks like. Not swinging in for 3. Alright, that's fair. A Field of Ruin. Sacrifice a creature, why don't ya? Alright, kills there, that's fine. Bag of Holding. If we swing in, he can give Undestructible again. Indestructible. If we had the Sarkhan's Unsealing that turn, I would have been okay swinging in here. But for now, let's just not attack. Pass the turn. Sentinel's Mark gives him Vigilance and Lifelink. That's annoying. Alright. Swings for 6. Whew. Alright. All sorts of the bad. Immobilize District. And you can cast down now. Makes him deal 4. Let's go Yargle. Maybe we should just be trying to go aggressively for the Unsealing. No attacks, pass the turn. And I don't know what we do now that he is vigilant. And they've gained enough life. Erase here. Another one with a wind. Okay. Still has a Siren Storm Tamer for protection as well. Alright, let's see if they make a mistake here. So we can mobilize District. Alright, let's see if we can draw another card. Sarkhan's Unsealing. They just counter the cast down. This lets us actually play it. Alright, discard the cast down. We're just going to show them that we have Sarkhan's Unsealing. And then lose, because there's no way we can actually come back there anyway. So that's annoying though. So wing it in. They can even take it down to 1 and then kill us on the next turn. So yeah, we're done for. Oh, that was rough. One more. All right, up against Lyrical Chicken. Bring it on. That's a great name, by the way. I think I might have actually played against this guy at one point. I would not doubt it. All right, well, Bag of Holding into Taskmaster, into Rotting Registrar. Sweetness. And there's a land for it all. All right, yeah, this is actually pretty sweet. In turn, Taskmaster doesn't really do much for getting stuff back from the graveyard when this is with Bag of Holding. But it's cool. And it's something we can actually get back our Bag of Holding from the graveyard at some point and play it. Good. Oh, no, it's only creatures. Just kidding. We can't do that. That's just silly talk right there. Knight of the Ebon Legend. That's just better than Taskmaster, isn't it? That's just so stinking good. Yeah, so go Knight. Pass of the turn. Yep, no blocks. Rejuvenator. Sarkhan's Unsealing, huh? Huh. Alright, Taskmaster comes in tapped, huh? We can go digging for land. Just guarantee that we get this. And I can also hold up Knight of the Even Legion as a blocker. So we can just pay 2 here, and let's just pass the turn. We're gonna hold back and play this a little bit more control-y. Which is maybe the way this needs to be played anyway. In fact, we probably ought to be changing this up a little bit. But making sure we guarantee hit this land. Well, not guaranteed, but we're going to get 2 digs for it to get to the Sarkhan's Unsealing. Which is going to be great against Nissa. If they also swing in with stuff, we can also just kill a forest. Alright, Bag of Holding. There's the land. Alright, so we drop Eternal Taskmaster. Does this do it to Planeswalker as well? Yes, it does. Alright, Sarkhan's Unsealing. And no attacks, pass the turn. And next turn, we're going to blow up your entire board. What you going to do about it? Ooh, that's good. If we find land, we can Rotting Registrar and actually kill Nissa that way. Vivs, which is just going to die as well to this Rotting Regisaur. Unless they find an answer for this Sarkhan Sling, which, I mean, there are some cards that do that. Not a lot that I know of. See, this is the hard part, though. We're going to take a lot of damage right here. I don't think that we block with Knight. I think that we wait one turn, take our beats, and have an extra blocker for later. Hopefully they don't have a way to pump this right now. And this is a lot of damage. We're dropping down to 6 right now. Yeah, down to 6. Another Sarkhan's Unsealing. Well, we can't go with that one, but we have to go with Rotting Regisaur, which we're also okay with.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
Nissa, we're not terribly worried about. Let's just... I guess I can swing in. Yeah, just no attacks. He's going to grow. He gets a counter at the end step. Pass the turn. Stay defensive here as best we can. We are down to 6, so be careful. And hopefully Yargle for next turn. Goreclaw. Yeah, that would be great against Goreclaw. Gets to create a little 3/3. He's all good. Elvish Rejuvenator. That's all good as well. And please give us this Yargle. Land for Yargles. Lands for the Yargs. Otherwise, we at least get Wanted Scoundrels to kill here. And opponent just scoops it up. I mean, like, seriously, what do you do if Rotting Regisaur just wipes your board every single time and kills your Nissa and hits you for 4? Like, so that's the biggest thing is Sarkhan's Unsealing right now is insane. I think this deck needs to be a little bit more on the combo plan. Just like, it needs to be just straight removal, Sarkhan's Unsealing, and then the big stuff that you can draw, and like ways to draw into it. I think that's what the deck probably needs to switch to. I wanted to kind of keep it how Sinche had it here. Let's go ahead and do the wrap up. Yeah, so this deck is super fun, and I think the things that I would change with it is I would go with a little bit more removal in general, which there's a lot of pieces that we just haven't really found. But then I would just be focused on, you know, the fact that we have Rotting Regisaur for 3 mana, Wanting Scoundrels or something like that. Like, I don't think you can play this a little bit more control-y and not really worried about the downside of having Wanted Scoundrels. But at the same time, there were games where, like, that could have finished the game. Did it ever, though? No, it didn't. And so just having the extra 4 power. The one side with that, too, though, is, like, if you get to play it, get to kill something, and then you get to swing in with it on the next turn, also is powerful with Sarkhan Unsealing. But I think what I would do is I'd go on the game plan of making sure that we hit that. So maybe like 2 Theater of Horrors, 2 Bag of Holdings, Rotting Regisaurs. Maybe I'd do like a playset of Knight of Ebon Legion if you have it, just because it is just crazy powerful by itself. And then I take everything else out basically and just go for removal and Sarkhan's Unsealings. Infernal Hellion's great. Maybe 3 Yargles, 4 here, 4 here, 1 Spawn of Mayhem. I think maybe even 2 Spawn of Mayhems. Pirate's Pillage, maybe not. I'm not sure about that one. It does help you get treasures to get up to Sarkhan's Unsealing, or I mean, you're already at 4 though when you do it, so then we're just playing more 4 drops. So I don't know. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts down in the comments below, what things you would change with the deck. I think that the deck is really powerful, really fun, and that's what matters. Is there's a lot of cool things that we're doing here, and I wish that I feel like we didn't see a lot of the one-of pieces in the deck. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.